Sunday, March 8, 2026. Beverly Hills. 10 shots fired from a white Tesla, an AR-15 style rifle. Rihanna's home, her children inside. Arza, riot. Baby Rocky, ASAP Rocky, her mother, all present during the attack.
1 count of attempted murder.
See the pattern? One day you're the most beloved pop star on earth. Fenty beauty empire, billion-dollar net worth. The next day, a stranger who's never met you fires 10 shots at your home while your 3 children sleep inside.
Shooting just occurred, 10 gunshots fired from the vehicle.
So which is it? Random violence? Or the inevitable consequence of fame in a world where millions of people think they know you, love you, or in this case, believe you've cursed them with witchcraft? The answer reveals 3 specific ways fame creates danger that nobody talks about. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why 35-year-old Ivana Lizette Ortiz from Florida thought Rihanna was her enemy, despite never meeting her. Hit subscribe because what you're about to discover will decode the dark psychology that turns admiration into attempted murder. So let's start with a question. What makes someone famous? Is it talent? Creating music, products, or art that millions love? Rihanna has 9 Grammys, 14 #1 singles, and built a billion-dollar beauty empire. She's objectively successful by every metric. Maybe it's visibility, being everywhere, impossible to avoid, part of global culture. Rihanna's face is on billboards, magazine covers, social media feeds. She has 142 million Instagram followers. She can't go anywhere without recognition. Or perhaps it's connection? Making people feel like they know you, understand you, relate to you. Rihanna shares her life, her relationship with ASAP Rocky, her pregnancies, her children's names, intimate moments that make fans feel close to her. Here's the thing, every factor that makes Rihanna famous also makes her a target. The talent creates obsession, the visibility creates accessibility, the connection creates delusion. So what actually happened on March 8th? And why does the evidence reveal something far more disturbing than one deranged individual? And to understand what really happened, we need to examine the documented evidence. Not just the shooting, the pattern, the psychology, the way fame itself creates the conditions for violence. Sunday, March 8th, 2026. Approximately 6:47 a.m., Rihanna's Beverly Hills residence. A white Tesla pulls up outside the property. The driver, later identified as 35-year-old Ivana Lizette Ortiz from Florida, opens fire with an AR-15 style rifle. Approximately 10 shots fired at the residence. Inside the home, Rihanna. ASAP Rocky. Their 3 children, Arza, age 3, Riot, age 2, and Baby Rocky, less than 1 year old. Rihanna's mother, Monica Braithwaite, none injured. Pure luck. 10 shots fired and not a single person hit. But here's what makes this moment reveal something larger. This wasn't random violence. This was targeted, calculated, the product of months, possibly years, of building delusion. Ivana Lizette Ortiz, 35 years old, from Florida, charged with 14 felony counts including attempted murder. But the charges don't capture the psychology. Her social media does. Investigators found erratic videos posted online by Ortiz. In them, she claims Rihanna used, quote, witchcraft against her. She describes, quote, one-sided beefs, not just with Rihanna, but with Cardi B and other celebrities she'd never met. And here's the dark reality. Ivana Ortiz represents the extreme end of a spectrum that millions of fans exist on. She's not an aberration. She's the statistical inevitability of parasocial relationships at scale. But to understand how Ortiz went from fan to attempted murderer, we need to decode what psychologists call parasocial relationships. The term was coined in 1956 by Donald Horton and Richard Wohl. Definition, quote, a one-sided relationship in which a person invests time and emotional energy into intimately following the life of someone they do not have real-life connections to. According to research published in Fanning the Flames of Fandom, Celebrity Worship, Parasocial Interaction, and Stalking, these relationships exist on a spectrum with 3 stages. Entertainment. Social, casual fandom, viewing celebrity as entertainment. Intense personal, developing strong emotional attachment, believing in a special connection. Borderline pathological, obsessive thoughts, unrealistic beliefs, potentially dangerous behaviors. Now here's what makes Rihanna particularly vulnerable. She excels at creating intense personal connections. That's her genius and her danger. Think about what Rihanna shares. Not just music, she shares her pregnancy journey, her children's faces, her relationship struggles, her business wins and losses. She posts intimate moments with A$AP Rocky. She shows vulnerability, and millions of followers feel like they know her, like they're friends, like they have a relationship. Dr. Borland from Cleveland Clinic explains, quote, "There is a part of our brain that can't differentiate the face in front of me in real life from the face on screen. Your brain processes Rihanna's Instagram stories the same way it processes conversations with actual friends. The emotional investment is real, even though the relationship is imaginary. Most fans stay in entertainment social stage. They enjoy the music, buy Fenty Beauty, move on with their lives. But for vulnerable individuals, those with underlying mental illness, attachment disorders, or social isolation, the intense personal stage becomes borderline pathological. Giles and Maltby document ideas people at this stage have. I would gladly die to save my favorite celebrity. Or, if I walked through their door, they would be happy to see me. Ivana Ortiz believed Rihanna was cursing her with witchcraft. That's borderline pathological. And Rihanna's intimacy-based brand accidentally accelerated that delusion. But one deranged individual is manageable. Security can handle isolated threats. The real danger is the scale at which these relationships form. Rihanna has 142 million Instagram followers. If even 0.1% develop borderline pathological relationships, that's 142,000 people who believe they have a personal connection with someone who doesn't know they exist. Research shows parasocial relationships can lead to attacks on personal character, threats, and stalking behaviors in extreme cases. The question isn't if this happens, it's how often. Taylor Swift faced multiple stalkers. Eric Swarbrick sent threatening letters saying he'd harm himself and Swift if ignored. She now carries heavy-duty bandages and gauze, fearing knife or gun attacks. Mark Chapman's parasocial relationship with John Lennon led to stalking him around New York City before murdering him. John Hinckley Jr. believed he was in a relationship with Jodie Foster and shot President Ronald Reagan to get her attention. These aren't isolated incidents. They're predictable outcomes when you have millions of one-sided relationships and algorithms designed to deepen emotional investment. And here's what nobody talks about. Social media makes it worse. Every Instagram story Rihanna posts gives the illusion of reciprocal communication. She's talking to her followers. They respond in comments. It feels like conversation. But it's not. It's 142 million people talking to someone who will never hear them. Chappelle Roan stated on a podcast, "People have started to be freaks, follow me, and know where my parents live and where my sister works." She threatened to quit music if stalking continued. The algorithm rewards intimate content. Posts about Rihanna's children get more engagement than posts about Fenty products. So she's incentivized to share exactly the content that deepens parasocial bonds, which increases the statistical probability of borderline pathological relationships, which creates more Ivana Ortizes. So what happens now? Ortiz is arrested, charged with 14 felonies. The legal system handles it. Rihanna's safe, right? No, because the Beverly Hills incident isn't solved by arresting one person. There are thousands more like Ortiz, and Rihanna can never undo her fame. Chappell Roan's statement reveals the permanence. Once people started stalking and endangering my family, I would quit. But quitting doesn't erase your face from people's minds. Deleting Instagram doesn't delete parasocial bonds already formed. Borderline pathological parasocial relationships are characterized by people who can no longer control their thoughts, feelings, or behavior related to the celebrity. That obsession doesn't disappear when the celebrity stops posting. This is the dark side nobody discusses. Fame is permanent vulnerability. Every person who's ever seen Rihanna's face has formed some level of parasocial relationship. Most harmless, some intense. A statistical few borderline pathological. And Rihanna has to live knowing that somewhere in the world, multiple people believe they have personal beefs with her, believe she's cursing them, believe violence is justified. So here are the 3 ways fame creates danger. and why Rihanna's incident wasn't random. Danger number 1. Illusion of connection. The evidence from parasocial research shows our brains can't distinguish screen relationships from real ones. When Rihanna shares intimate moments with 142 million followers, each person processes it as personal communication. Most handle this fine, but for those with mental illness or attachment disorders, the illusion becomes delusion. Ivana Ortiz believed in witchcraft curses because she genuinely believed she knew Rihanna personally. Danger number 2. Algorithmic amplification. Social media rewards intimate content. Rihanna's posts about her children outperform business posts, so she's economically incentivized to share exactly the content that deepens parasocial bonds. The algorithm creates feedback loops. Share intimacy, get engagement. Share more intimacy, deepen parasocial relationships, increase statistical probability of borderline pathological cases. Danger number 3. Permanent vulnerability. Once you're famous, you can't undo it. Quitting social media doesn't erase faces from memory. Retiring from music doesn't delete parasocial bonds. Taylor Swift now carries medical supplies expecting violence. That's not paranoia. That's statistics. With millions of parasocial relationships, violence becomes probability, not possibility. So was the Beverly Hills shooting random or inevitable? The evidence is overwhelming. It was statistically inevitable. Ivana Ortiz's motive wasn't rational. It was the product of borderline pathological parasocial delusion amplified by algorithms and mental illness. But the deeper motive is structural. Fame itself, at the scale social media enables, creates conditions where violence becomes probable. And here's what should terrify everyone. Rihanna did everything right. She's talented, successful, generous with fans, and someone still fired 10 shots at her home while her children slept. Because in the attention economy, the price of fame is permanent, escalating danger that no amount of security can fully eliminate. Rihanna isn't the only megastar who's faced the dark reality of parasocial obsession turning violent. There's another global icon who experienced an even more public attack, survived, and then had to navigate rebuilding a career while knowing the next obsessed fan could be anywhere. That story involves a concert, metal barriers, and security footage that shows exactly how quickly admiration becomes assault. The psychology is identical. The outcome? She's never performed the same way again. And understanding what happened reveals just how much danger fame creates that we never see. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button